हरे कृष्ण। मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरे कृष्ण. So, like people want to stand. Like I came from morning in. I got down from the bus, and then I called the devotees to pick me up. So they came for picking up. So many people were there in the bus stand. So I was thinking in which vehicle they will come. Whether they will come in a two-wheeler or they will come in a car. And because everybody is waiting, so for me a car comes and I get into it. It looks like, yes, I am something special. Basically, what is this? This is actually the false ego. Why people go for fashion? Fashion is very inconvenient. They wear in different dresses, especially ladies. They go for fashion. They have some varieties of heels and dress and all. Actually, it is very inconvenient. But why people go for it? Because of only one reason. They want to stand out. They want to stand out in public. This is why I wanted any car to come instead of bike. Because you want to stand out. You want to feel special. Because we so much identify with our body, we want that people to recognize, appreciate what I am. This is the conditioning we have. And what we have to do now, we have to, instead of imitating these people and trying to become standout, we also have to do, but we have to do what Mahatmas are doing. That will make a great difference in life. Say Mahatmas are chanting, hearing, reading, and we also do it. And even though we don't have any taste for such activities, but because we are doing, we are trying to imitate Mahatmas, but we are doing in a we are so this tendency is there to stand out or to imitate. So this is there for me also. Then what I did is, it was simple. I want to stand out. So then what we did, change the hairstyle and dress style. That means you become a Hare Krishna devotee. So then it looks like very, so many changes are there in your hairstyle and dress style, and you anyway stand out. And you go it. Of course, many will not like. Some will say, okay, this fellow looks a little different because his dress color is different, his hairstyle is different. But what happens like this? Then our ego start developing in a right direction. And whenever they see us, we know they are seeing we as a devotee of Krishna, as a follower of Prabhupada. Then we'll be little more careful and we'll be little, no, I cannot be whimsical or I cannot do anything mischief. Even if I want to, if I go to some shop to purchase and then there is some TV going on and cricket is happening and there is a conditioning, okay, let me see at least one ball and come. Now because you are in this dress and you are having such condition, means you are identifying something. Now people are also seeing you. And it is very easy. Everybody observes because we are uh, you because we are having a different. If you have a shikha and tilak and you are having kandimala, even you don't wear, you could also use standard. People want to see what you are going to do. We have to be a little exemplary. So in that way, it helps. Second thing is, we also start developing the taste. That is the advantage. When we start chanting, as such, initially, not many will have taste for chanting. But we are imitating Mahatmas. Because we are imitating Mahatmas, that's what Krishna is doing. The process is so powerful. Just by imitating them also, we can gain so much benefit. Anyway, the tendency is there. Scientists also found out there are monkey neurons in all of us. What is this monkey neurons? Monkey neurons basically are the our the tendency to imitate. Instead of imitating outside, going for fashion and all, better to imitate devotees and try to work out. We are not Mahatmas, but we can imitate Mahatmas. Imitate in the sense they also wake up early morning, we'll also wake up. They also chant in the morning, we'll also chant. They are doing out of taste, we are doing, they are at the spontaneous level, Raganuga. We are in sadhana level. But because we are imitating and the process has that power, it will give taste for us also. This is the advantage. If you don't imitate Mahatmas, then what we do? We start imitating the latest fashions. We want to imitate what others are doing, their car, their dress, their things. Anyway, that monkey neurons are anyway there. Why don't I take some Mahatma as my ideal, and why don't I imitate them instead of imitating some materialistic this? Well, the tendency to stand out is anyway there. That false ego don't go. So better to stand out as a devotee and being devotee. This is the thing that we can practice. It will be helpful. So now we will start some. So there are many things like that we can discuss, which are very helpful for. So I was I was coming from Bangalore, just reached in the morning. So I was having this why I want that car should come instead of bike. Then I understood. Oh, you want to imitate, you want to stand out. You want to show to people, see how much special, great I am. This is the tendency. Of course, the thought came, but for, for us, we don't want to impress these people. So that way we are saved. The advantage for us is we don't want to impress materialistic people. So the anxiety is less for us. But for others, they don't have any alternative. They think I have to stand out, and they work very hard for it, and it does not work out. They feel very unhappy that I am not able to prove myself. I am really very special. I am not able to prove myself. And for us, we don't have that anxiety. Anyway, and if you shave your head means many people don't like only. Very few people who are spiritually inclined, then you go, they may say Hare Krishna. But many people they don't like to sit also beside. So in that way, your advantage, you need not touch anyone. Even touching also consciousness changes. I feel very happy if nobody touches. They're all, I don't know whether they took bath or what is their state. So it becomes a little inconvenient. But traveling we cannot avoid sometimes. But somehow, fortunately, it didn't happen for me today. I was very happy. So the point I wanted to tell is we will reduce our anxiety if we have Mahatmas as our heroes. It becomes very easy for us. Life becomes very easy. Like that. We have to change our perspectives. Life is very simple. And of all the things most important, one lecture I was hearing of Bhakti Maharaj, he was telling on Guru. Very, very nice lecture. Some I will not tell all things. Maybe some other time when some topic of Guru comes in the further chapters, I will try to discuss in that. But one thing I very much appreciated is that every situation, what is a Guru means he is able to see Krishna's hand in everything. It looks very simple sentence, but it's not like that. For him, he does not like Prabhupada. He could see everything how Krishna is arranging. So they don't complain only. This is the first thing. There's no complaint for them. Everything, because say if I like this person and he is doing everything for me, and I have trust on him that whatever he does for me is good only, then whatever he does, I don't have fear. This is the point. So if we know that everything is done by Krishna, we are free from fear. Because of the fear only, we are not able to. The fear is a cause that is called atheism. Because if I am not able to see Krishna's hand in all, that is the reason I am fearful. Is Krishna's only reason? Where is the question of fear? Bhayam dvitiyad abhiniveshatasya. Atheism is because of that. Atheism means I have disbelief, means I have fear. If I believe, there is no question of fear only. To the degree I am fearful, to the degree I lack faith. And a guru is a person who does not lack faith. He is completely fearless. He knows that Vajahure Mana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charanarin. That is the difference. And another one more nice point I heard. This is not connected, but I'll tell this also very nice thing which I heard. Like, what is the difference between Abrahamic religions and our Krishna consciousness? Guru is Baddha Jeev or Mukta Jeev. It does not matter. Now he is, initially he can be Baddha, but now he has raised to a state, now he is liberated only. Now Guru is a liberated person. He is liberated means he has love for Krishna. Even if somebody at the level of Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, he can also accept disciples. And only at the level of Prema he can go to spiritual world. But if he is fearless, if he has complete faith that Krishna is always there with me, then that is a qualification. He can also give that fearlessness to others, help others also develop the same faith on Krishna, and eventually he will achieve. He may be at the stage of bhava and he can achieve prema and he can go to spiritual. Now we have to consider our guru as liberated. One more thing I understood about, like say, other Abrahamic religions and some places in our Hindus also, they say love. They say we should love all living entities. We should love everyone. We should show our love. We should feel love, express love. All these things, concepts are there. Now they also call love of God. So we love everyone. We love everything. But unless we have specific love to a person, this love is not possible. Like, we cannot love everything. We can be loving everyone as a whole, but individually we'll hate. That is actually what happens. Unless we have love of Krishna, we cannot have love for all living entities. We need to have, why? Because love, okay, I love all. In my colony, I love everyone. But that is possible only with one person. If you really have proper, especially Krishna, you need to accept. Because love means you need to have relationship. There are certain desires of that person, certain emotions of that person. We have to accommodate everything. If I am able to accommodate everything and I am able to accept it, then I can love for all living entities is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. That means because they don't have any form that is very clear for them. That's why they are not able to have that. They can show compassion, but that compassion is at the level of Sattva. It's not out of love they are doing. They are elevated, they may go till Brahmaloka, but to get that spiritual love, even people in Brahmaloka, they also feel compassion. They come. Prabhupada says Jesus is from Brahmaloka. Very compassionate. Is seeing the suffering of living entities coming. They will be elevated. But this love of God which comes from spiritual world is to have love for a very specific Lord. That is, anyway, we will discuss on it some other time more detail. We'll come to very nice slokas by Brahmaji. There are some nice points in this also. We'll add to it. We have to increase our treasure of knowledge. And slowly, when we start contemplating on it and then working on it, it becomes a realization also. But at least we should know first to contemplate. Then that will be our thought. That will be the thoughts we get when we are in any situation. We can start thinking about it because we have heard it. Brahma uvacha yatrodayata kshititalo dharanaya bibrat krundim tanum sakalaya gnamaya ananta Antarmaharnava upagatam adidaityam tam dharmshtrayadram iva brajadharo dadara. Brahma said, now he is telling about the incarnations of the Lord. When the unlimitedly powerful Lord assumed the form of a boar as a past tense, just to lift the planet Earth, which are drowned in the great ocean of universe called the Garbhodaka, the first demon, Hiranyaksha appeared, and the Lord pierced him with his tusk. So now these incarnations are told in the first canto, third chapter, second canto is written, and in the third canto, Krishna Leelas are told. So sometimes this is repeated, but with a different realization. And another interesting thing is because second canto is the summary of all of Bhagavad Gita. The second chapter of Bhagavad Gita is summary of all of Prabhupada writes, summary of Bhagavad Gita. Same thing with second canto of Bhagavatam. It gives everything. Prabhupada writes nice purport. Since the beginning of creation, the demons and demigods or the Vaishnavas are always two classes of living beings to dominate the planets of the universe. Lord Brahma is the first demon and Hiranyaksha is the first demon. Sorry, Lord Brahma is the first demigod and Hiranyaksha is the first demon in this universe. Only under certain conditions of the planets float on waterless, weightless balls in the air, and as soon as these conditions are disturbed, the planets may fall down into the Garbhodaka ocean, which covers half the universe. The other half is spherical dome, within which the innumerable planetary system exists. So half part is Garbhodaka ocean, above that all the planets. Now interesting here, like there is another important thing also. For us now the taste is in Tamoguna because these modes create everything. Why we get attracted to certain taste is because of modes. Now people they are eating all these onion, garlic and other things, they drink other things, they do other activities. That is actually the taste that they are holding on to. Until they give up the taste, they will not be able to progress. And for us also, we still have some tamoguna taste. How we know? To wake up early morning becomes difficult means that is we are still interested in tamoguna. That is the proof. And this is we all have taste for some food items, some type of dress, some type of activities. If we are so much into giving trouble to others and experiencing some pleasure, that is also tamoguna. Actually, people give up violence for animals. They become vegetarian. Say, I'm Hare Krishna, I'm vegetarian. But they continue violence to their family members. People say, Arey, this fellow stopped eating non-veg, but he is now eating me. He is eating the family members. So non-violence means not just not eating animals, but we should not force others, we should not show violence to other living entities also. That is also because of tamoguna only. And what happens is these demons, they are appearing because there is a tamoguna that exists in this universe. That is the reason this Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, they are there. Brahma is Sattaguna, demons are Tamoguna. And of course, this planetary system, how it fall in the water and all, it's quite technical. Maybe in the fifth canto we'll understand. But just think that something was floating and it fell in Garbhodaka ocean. That much we'll understand. Because the floating of planets in the waterless air is due to the inner constitution of the globes, and the modernized drilling of the earth to exploit oil from within is a sort of disturbance by the modern demons and can result in greatly harmful reaction to the floating condition of the earth. Now another interesting thing is when previously demons came, Mother Earth went and prayed to Lord Brahma, went to Brahma, and with Brahma they go to pray to Lord Vishnu. And now there are still demons. Now why Mother Earth is not praying? Now why she is not going? Krishna stayed for 120 years and he killed all the demons, he left. And immediately after Krishna left, Kali Yuga came. And within 5,000 years, maybe 4,000 years, all the present day demons, modern civilization is born with a very, very demonic mentality. And everybody, from youth to old people, all the generations have completely uh, internalized the demonic propensity in Kali Yuga. They, everybody thinks they are the enjoyer. Nobody has a desire to serve the Lord and go to Supreme Lord. This is especially. Now, why Mother Earth is not praying? Nobody is interested only Krishna consciousness. Hardly anybody is interested to. Even they become devotee also, they are also not so much into going back home, back to Godhead. They are just, they are doing some pious entertainment. Now, why Mother Earth did not do? Because to kill these demons, now, she don't need Vishnu. She can do it herself. One tsunami and one big earthquake finish, and all this corona and other things. Some simple elements will finish all the demons of Kali Yuga. And all these wars also which come, they are also actually because of uh, there also the phenomenon of the war is going on. Ukraine, Russia, and now Israel is also doing some war. I heard. This is all because this is a demonic mentality. That's all. It is nothing. And they are arranged by superior powers. And this is one of the things. Umakant, you can post me, bro, separately in the my WhatsApp group, because I can directly answer you. I have to understand the question. It takes time. But thank you. And anyway, now this a demon and can result in the greatly harmful. A similar disturbance was created formed by demon headed by Hiranyaksha, the great exploiter of gold rush. And the earth was detached from its weightlessness condition and fell down in the Garbhodaksha. The Lord, as the maintainer of the whole creation of the material world, therefore assumed the gigantic form of a boar with a proportionate snout and picked up the earth from within the water of Garbhodaksha. Srila Jayadeva Goswami, the great Vaishnava poet, sung as follows. Vasati dashana shikare dharnita balagna Shashini kalanka kaleva nimagna Keshavadrita sukara rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. O Keshava, Supreme Lord, who has assumed the form of a boar, O Lord, the planet Earth rested on your tusk, and it appears like the moon engraved with spots. So this is actually what he is saying. But basically, the point here is, of course, all the incarnations come one after another. What is boar incarnation? Lord comes and he rescues Mother Earth from the Garbhodak ocean. Of course, he comes Shvetavaraha and Raktavaraha. 2 times he comes. One is in Swayambhu Manvantra, one is Chakshush Manvantra. One time he kills Hiranyaksha, another time he just leaves earth. In Swayambhu Manvantra, he just leaves earth and gives. Chakshush Mantra, he comes and he kills actually Hiranyaksha, like that. There are two incarnations. One is white, one is red. 2 incarnations. That is our Acharya's explanation. Such is the symptoms of incarnation of the incarnation of Lord is not concocted idea of fanciful men who create an incarnation out of imagination. The incarnation of Lord appears under certain extraordinary circumstances like the above mentioned occasion. And the incarnation performs a task which is not even imaginable by the tiny brain of mankind. The modern creators of many cheap incarnations may take note of the actual incarnations of Lord as a gigantic boar with a suitable snout to carry the planet Earth. This is an interesting thing. One place when when Maharaj is killing in the Hollywood directors cannot make such forms of the incarnations of Lord. They are really very huge. It cannot come into their system. When the Lord appeared in order to pick up earth, the demon of the name Hiranyaksha tried to create a disturbance in the methodological function of the Lord. Therefore, he was killed by being pierced by the Lord's tusk. According to Jiva Goswami, the demon Hiranyaksha was killed by the hand of the Lord. Therefore, this version is that after being killed by the hand of the Lord, the demons was pierced by the tusk. Shilvashan Shakal confirms this version. Yato rucherajanayan suyamana so sujaya sujajnya ahurtisu sunuramara man atadhakshinayam lokatriyasya mahatim aharad yadaratim swayam bhuvena manuna hariri ya anuta. It says that Prajapati Ruchi begotten Suyagnya in the womb of his wife Akuti, and then Suyagnya begotten the demigods headed by Suyamana in the womb of his wife Dakshina. Suyagnya, as the Indradev, diminished very great miseries in the three planetary system, upper, lower, and because he so diminished the miseries of the universe, he was later called Hari by the great father of mankind, namely Swayambhumana. So in this incarnation, this is about the incarnation of Hari. So there is Ruchi and Suyagnya. Sorry, Ruchi was bought by Suyagnya. No, Akuti and Suyagnya had Ruchi. And sorry, Ruchi and Akuti, Suyagnya is born. Suyagnya, Suyamana. Suyamana was born from Suyagnya and Daksh. In order to guard against the invitation of unauthorized incarnations of God by the fanciful, less intelligent persons, the name of the father of bona fide incarnation is also mentioned in the authorized revealed scriptures. No one therefore can be accepted as incarnation of Lord in his father's name, as well as the name of the village or place in which he appears is not mentioned by authorized scriptures. In the Bhagavad Puran, the name of Kalki incarnation, which is to take place in almost 400,000 years, is mentioned along with the name of his father and name of the village in which he will appear. A sane man, therefore, does not accept any cheap edition of an incarnation without reference to the authorized scriptures. Now, people are not interested in scriptures. That is the main problem. They are only interested in whoever helps them to get their things fulfilled. They can go to dargahs also. Dargah is this Muslim place. They bury some dead body and then they put some flags there and then they worship. And some Hindus also go there. They say this dargah is very powerful. They'll go there and they worship there also. They will take coconuts and, and kumkumarti, everything they will do. So for them, it does not matter who is there, who is not there. Anything they will worship. You just put on the roadside one stone and put some nice haldi and kumkum and lit some lamp and something. After a few years, you will find a big temple of Durga Devi. Actually, I have seen this. I have personally experienced. We used to travel in one road. And there was a small temple of some Durga Devi. It was under a tree. Slowly, small structure came. And now, after that, very big structure. Because all these truck people, they used to stop, break coconuts, tie some nimbu and go. And slowly, it so happened. It became like very big holy place in that area now. And it's matter of maybe 20 years. Very. We also went 2 times. We went and took darshan and we also ate something and come. That time we were very small. But now it is a big place. Big line is there for darshan and all. I was thinking, Array, it was so small. Anything will work. People are not at all interested in scriptures. That is a speciality. That's why we should read scriptures very nicely to know what is right, what is wrong. So every day morning we are hearing. It's a good exercise we should do to learn the scriptures from authorized person. Otherwise, we'll also get carried away. So easy to get carried away with anything and everything they are worshipping. Does not matter only for that. Because why it happens? Because the purpose of life that is advertised is to enjoy. If a purpose of life is to enjoy, whoever is enjoying best and whoever is successful, that is does not matter how you make it. And people are not least bothered how you came to that position, whether you robbed, you looted, or whatever you did, but you reached the top. You are successful. So that is the problem for Kali Yuga. We cannot do anything, but at least we should save ourselves. Like Vrindavan, this Premanand Babaji was there, and there are so many other things. What is the? They are doing good. They are good sadhus. They are inspiring people, but there is a problem. What is the problem with all these kathakars? They have many followers. They are many disciples, and they are very big kathas and inspiring so many. Premanand Babaji is a very nice, saintly person. His both kidneys are failed. Still, he's on his own tapabal. He's practicing and doing. What makes a difference with Prabhupada and all these saintly people is Prabhupada he wrote books. He gave Bhaktivedanta purports. What happens with them after that? The guru leaves, the whole samta is down. But whereas Prabhupada, it will not happen. It survived because Prabhupada gave Shastra. And he gave shloka word to word translation and he gave. So this is the speciality of Prabhupada. And that's why we need to read Shastra like that. Yeah. So Shyam is telling strong material desires people go to anywhere to satisfy them. Even in his office, some of his colleagues went to offer liquor also to some demigods, so that their desire will fulfill. Yeah, they go to Bhairav and all offer liquor and come. Yeah, that is there. They don't mind only what is happening, what is right or wrong. So the point is, this is the point. People, they're just crazy with because they don't know purpose of it. They think enjoyment. And even some people come to spirituality. Now they are not reading Shastra. So these Babas and all, till they are there, they can keep their disciples. After that, they cannot have, their disciples will not be able to control because they are not emphasizing on reading Shastra. That is what Prabhupada did. Books, said he should distribute books and he should read books. And people, Prabhupada want us to read his books nicely. And that is what we are doing now. We are going from every purport, trying to understand what Prabhupada is telling, which will protect us in a long way. This is actually, we are standing on our own legs. This is a difference. Otherwise, emotionally, they will be inspiring, they are connected, these people, to their gurus, and they are very much dedicated, and we are not telling they are not sincere. But what happens is, to stand on our own leg, we need Shastra. So, this is what is very important. We need to learn Shastra nicely and serve it. ज्ञाने च क्रन्दं गिरद्विजदेवहूत्या स्त्रीभिः समं नवभिरात्मगतिं स्वमात्रे ऊचेयात्मसमलं गुणसङ्गपङ्कम् अस्मिन् विदूय कपिलस्य गतिं प्रपेदे. Now the third incarnation. So first is Varahadev, second is Hari, third is Kapiladev. Along with 9 women sisters, the Lord then appeared as the Kapila incarnations, being the son of the Prajapati Brahmana Kardama and his wife Devhuti. He spoke to his mother about self-realization, by which in that very lifetime she became fully cleansed of the mud of the metal modes and thereby achieved liberation, the path of Kapila. Actually, these sadhus, they also write some books. But the difference with Prabhupada and others is, Prabhupada, he wrote directly Shastra. Bhagavad Gita translated, word to word, everything. Bhagavatam. So in that way, he tried to explain the Shastra. He didn't write his own books. His own books on self-realization, his experiments on truth. Prabhupada did not write anything like that. So then what happens? It becomes very, very authorized. Prabhupada presented the Shastra. That means no need to write anything separately. Just have to write Shastra or anything based on Shastra. A Krishna book Prabhupada wrote. He just did a summary study of 10th grade. So it is a book based on Shastra. So, and Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion is from Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. Whatever Rupa Goswami wrote, he's just quoting from the Shastra only. If you read, he makes a statement and quotes from 10 Shastras. This is the point I am establishing. So, in that way, when we read, our faith on Shastra increases and we become, our understanding becomes very, very solid. Pakka. Then we will never give up Krishna conscious and we can stand on our leg. We can say, yes, this is, it is Brahma Vak, it is Shastra Vak, it is Veda Vak. That's how we have to maintain ourselves, our Krishna consciousness. It's not that my Guru is not giving time and emotionally we are trying to depend on him. This is, we need his support, but it should not just, we just depend emotionally. We have to depend with Shastra. And Guru says, Shastra is also saying, yes, I will fight and be determined in my Krishna consciousness, like that. Now, that is what is Kapil Dev is doing. What did Kapil Dev do? The instructions of Lord Kapila to his mother Devagati are fully discussed in third canto of So he gave instructions. And even anyone who follows the instruction can achieve the same liberation obtained Deva. And another important thing with this Shastra, we cannot read on our own. That is another important. We need Guru who will explain the Shastra. That is very important. That is also a big difference. We cannot, if we read on our own, we'll only get confused. That's why we need Bhaktivedanta purport to understand. This is the way to understand. Vishnu Chakra Thakur's commentary. That is the way to understand. If I read, I'll make my own understanding. Why is this? It is a problem. And Prabhupada is writing further. Lord spoke the Bhagavad Gita and thereby Arjuna achieved self-realization. And even today, anyone who follows the path of Arjuna can also attain the same benefit as Sri Arjuna. The scriptures are meant for this purpose. See, very clearly proposed. Foolish, unintelligent people make their own interpretations by imagination and thus mislead their followers, causing them to remain in the dungeon of material existence. However, simply by following the instructions imparted by Lord Krishna or Lord Kapila, one can obtain the highest benefit even today. So no need of any speculation. We just have to follow what is told. And we have to follow how we'll know. We'll know it by our acharyas. The word Atma Gatim is significant in the sense of perfect knowledge of the Supreme. One should not be satisfied simply by knowing the qualitative equality of Lord and the living. One should know the Lord as much as can be known by our limited knowledge. We have to make full efforts. Prabhupada writing nice point. It is impossible for the Lord to be known perfectly as he is, even by such liberated persons as Shiva or Brahma. Today one devotee asked question. So what to speak of other demigods or men in this world? Still, by following the principles of the great devotees and the instructions available in the scriptures, one can know to a considerable extent the features of the Lord. His Lordship Kapila, the incarnation of Lord, instructs his mother fully about the personal form of Lord. So whatever we discussed today, I was sharing. So we have to follow the principles of great devotees and the instructions available in the scriptures. So this is very important point. And then what Lord did, he instructed his mother fully about the personal form of Lord. Because I was telling, love means we need to have a specific love with a person. Then only we can have love with the Supreme. Otherwise not possible. Or all living entities. And thereby she realized the personal form of Lord and was able to achieve the place in the Vaikuntha Loka, where Lord Kapila predominates. Every incarnation of Lord has his own abode in the spiritual sky. Therefore, Lord Kapila also had a separate Vaikuntha planet. The spiritual sky is not void. There are innumerable Vaikuntha planets, and in each of them, the Lord predominates by one of his innumerable expansions. And the pure devotees who are there also live in the same style as the Lord and his eternal associates. And next, Prabhupada is telling another point. When the Lord descends personally by his personal plenary expansions, such incarnations are called Amsha, Kala, Guna, Yuga Avataras, Manvantara Avataras, Guna Avataras, and there are also Shakti Avasha Avatar also. But in all cases, all incarnations supported by the innumerable statements of the authorized scriptures. So this is the point. If scriptures are quoting that this person is avatar, then only we have to accept. There is no way. Shaktavesh avatar, any avatar. Prabhupada is telling. That's why faith on Shastra is so important. Tasma Shastra Pramanante. That's all. Karya. And not by any imagination of some self-interested propagandist. So incarnations of Lord in any of the above categories always declare the supreme personality of Godhead to the ultimate truth. The impersonal conception supreme truth now is just a process of negation of the form of Lord. Mundane conception. Gopal further writes, the living entity by their constitution are spiritually as good as the Lord, and only difference between them is the Lord is always supreme and pure without contamination with the modes of material nature, whereas the living entity are apt to be contaminated by the association. So this and one last thing we'll read. The antiseptic potency of devotional service to the Lord is so great that it can neutralize the material infection even in the present life of a devotee. A devotee does not need to wait for his next birth for complete liberation. So he's already, so this is about the Guru. Vyasana Guru is liberated and he is so intensely doing devotion. It can neutralize the material infection even in the present life of a devotee. So Atre Atreerapatyam abhikamshata saha tushto datto mayaham iti yad bhagavan sadatta yat pada pankaja paraga pavitra deha yogadhimapur ubhayami yadu ihanyadhya. Now comes next Dattatreya. The great sage Atri prayed for offsprings, and the Lord, being satisfied with him, promised to incarnate as Atri's son, Dattatreya. Datta, the son of Atri. And by the grace of the lotus feet of Lord, many Yadus, Hayahayas, etc. became so purified that they obtained both material and spiritual blessings from Dattatreya. Now also there are so many devotees of Dattatreya, but they don't understand that he is incarnation of Lord only. Some understand, some don't understand. And the transcendental realization between the personality of Godhead and the living entity are eternally established in 5 different humors, which are known as Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhu. The sage Atri was related with the Lord in an affectionate Vatsalya humor, and therefore he was as a result of his devotional performance, he was inclined to have the personality of God as his son. The Lord accepted his prayers and gave him himself as a son of Atri. Such a relation of sonhood between the Lord and his pure devotee can be cited in many instances. And because the Lord is unlimited, he has an unlimited number of father devotees. That means so many fathers Lord has. Lord has incarnated as properly their son. Actually, the Lord is father of all living entities, but out of transcendental affection and love between the Lord and his devotees, the Lord takes more pleasure in becoming the son of a devotee than in becoming one's father. The fact that actually serves the son, whereas the son only demands all sorts of service from the father. Therefore, a pure devotee is always inclined to serve the Lord, wants him as a son, not as the father. The Lord also accepts such service from the devotee, and thus the devotee become more than the Lord. This is impersonation. They want to become one with the Lord, but devotees are become more than the Prabhupada. Therefore, the devotee of the Lord does not seek them separately. Wasting his valuable time of life. The valuable time of one's life must therefore be fully engaged in transcendental loving service of Lord. Then other desirable achievements are automatically granted. Prabhupada, but even after obtaining such achievements, one should be so guarded against the pitfalls of offenses at the feet of the devotee. The vivid example is Hayahaya, who achieved all such perfection in devotional service because of his affection at the feet of a devotee called was killed by Lord Parashurama. This story I also don't know. So we'll just read one more translation. This is fifth shloka. Taptam tapovidham loka srishayame ado sanatsva tapasa sachatu samo abhut prakalpa samplava vinashta tam ihatma tattvam samyog jagadamunayo yadachakshatam achakshatan na achakshatam na. He says that to create different planetary systems, I had to undergo austerities and penance of the Lord, thus being pleased with me. Incarnation of four sanas, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar. In the previous creation, the spiritual truth was devastated, but the four sanas explained it so nicely that the truth at once becomes clearly perceived by the sages. So now Brahma is telling about himself. Are I also did tapasya. Because of my tapasya, 4 children are born. And these are the children. And one of the devastations, all the knowledge is lost. Thus these 4 Kumaras gave this knowledge to the sages. In Vishnu Sahasranama prayers mention the Lord's name as Sanatana, Sanatanananda, Sanatanam. The Lord and the living entities are both qualitatively Sanatana, as eternal, but the Lord is Sanatana Tama, or the eternal in the superlative degree. The living entities are positively Sanatana, but also superlative, because the living entities are apt to fall to the atmosphere of non-eternity. Therefore, the living entities are qualitatively different from the Lord, from the speculative Sanatana, the Lord. Sorry, superlative Sanatana. So here, basically, the difference between Lord and Jivatma is explained. We'll just complete this purport and then we can. Yeah, because next purport is very big. We'll just complete this. The word sana is also used in the sense of charity. Therefore, when everything is given up in charity unto the Lord reciprocates by giving himself to the devotee. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Brahmaji wanted to create the whole cosmic situation as it was in the previous million, because in the last division, knowledge of the absolute truth was almost erased from the universe. He desired that the same knowledge be renovated. Otherwise, there would be no meaning in the creation. In every millennium of creation, transcendental knowledge is a prime necessary if every conditioned soul are to be given a chance for liberation. This mission of Brahmaji was fulfilled by the sages of the Lord, grace of the Lord, when the 4 sanas, namely Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sankumar, appeared as his 4 sons. The 4 sanas are incarnations of knowledge of the Supreme Lord, and as such, they explain transcendental knowledge so explicitly that all the sages could at once assimilate this knowledge without the least difficulty. By following the footsteps of the 4 Kumaras, one can at once see the Supreme Personality. Okay, thank you all very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki